Pgmol have lost their minds. On Saturday, Myles Lewis Skelly was given a straight red card for the most yellow card offence possible. VAR didn't even overturn the red card, and everybody has been getting on to Michael Oliver. Arsenal ended up winning the game 1-0. We ended up staying strong with a Calafiori finish. But fans are still angry and aggravated after the game. In fact, almost every single pundit can unanimously agree that the Myles Lewis Skelly red card should be rescinded, that it was never a red card in the first place. And what the biggest controversy and the consequence of the red card is that the left back won't be able to play against Man City in the league, Newcastle in the Carabao Cup second leg, and the following game against Leicester on the weekend after. Pundits on Match of the Day and other football shows seriously condemned this red card, saying it was one of the worst refereeing decisions you'll ever see, while Arsenal fans, fed up of Michael Oliver's antics, fed up of Pgmol's antics, simply drew even more conspiracy theories that the Pgmol, so that's Michael Oliver, are out to get Arsenal. In my opinion, it was one of the worst refereeing decisions of all time. But I'm so used to stupid decisions going against us, yet never to be seen in another game of football held at neutral clubs. You know, every game Arsenal play, it's marred by a refereeing decision. Win, lose, or draw. This ain't the first refereeing decision that's gone against us where it's so controversial. Just 2 weeks ago, João Pedro was given a penalty for William Saliba allegedly heading him, although the defender headed the ball first. This is the same season where Declan Rice was given a second yellow card for kicking the ball away, even though the player behind him had kicked him, and there was no repercussions for the Brighton right back. The same referee failed to send off Mateo Kovacic for 2 yellow card offences on Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice for tackles worse than that were actual almost leg breakers that should have been red cards. Yet he decides to send off Leandro Trossard in the game at the Etihad for kicking the ball away, a second yellow card when he was trying to find Gabriel Martinelli. And in this video, I'm going to go through all of the controversy, talking about it, what people are saying, and reviewing every red card that Michael Oliver has given Arsenal throughout his spell refereeing Arsenal games. So if you're new to the channel, hit the like button and subscribe. Look, 525 subscribers, thank you. But in my opinion, Arsenal have been hard done by referees, and I'm going to go into why as well. You would think that after a game, a victory, in fact, Arsenal fans or the controversy surrounding the Pgmol will die a little bit down, that people will be calm after the game. Well, they had come out and issued a statement condemning fans for criticising Michael Oliver. We are appalled by the threats and abuse directed at Michael Oliver following the Wolves Arsenal game. No official should be subject to any form of abuse, let alone the abhorrent attacks aimed at Michael and his family over the past 24 hours. Police are aware and a number of investigations have commenced. We are supporting Michael, all of those affected, and are determined to tackle this unacceptable behaviour. Sadly, this is not the first time a match official has been forced to deal with threats in recent times. We'll continue to support all investigations. Well, it's funny that, considering that Michael Oliver and all of the other referees in the top 5 leagues of English football do not have a social media account. So all of this is actual nonsense. Yet when you go onto Twitter, his name is currently trending with 35,000 posts all about him. As Even pundits on Sky Sports News, Tottenham, ex-Tottenham players are criticising his decision. Jamie O'Hara, former Spurs midfielder, saying that Michael Oliver should not get any Arsenal games. Meanwhile, there are several incidents that I can't show you due to copyright reasons as to why Michael Oliver shouldn't referee an Arsenal game, of so many incidents. Rory talks football. Have you seen his TikTok going on all over about Howard Webb and Michael Oliver? And you look at this tweet here that they've made. This is far from the first time I've expressed concerns with how Pgmol operates and is run by Howard Webb. Howard Webb has been in Pgmol for the past year or two, yet the refereeing has got worse. I've tried as much as possible to be objective when it comes to the irony of bad decisions that have gone against Arsenal, but also when they make mistakes in games involving other teams. Being entirely partisan is no use to anyone. They are a problem and it affects every team in the Premier League and all the other leagues they're in charge of. In this response, however, shows how out of touch and unfit for purpose they are. Webb, a former police officer with the South Yorkshire Police, look him up, is running like some kind of constabulary force with the referees that bubbles with every beat. Come for us, you come for all of us. Circle the wagons, accept no criticism, and admit to no wrongdoing, and the full know that football moves so quickly. Like, it's crazy at how they'll make a statement condemning it. They'll have this guy explaining it, defending the decision. They'll have Dermot Gallagher on Sky Sports News defending the decision. Yet even then, Mike Dean, former referee of the Premier League, called it one of the worst decisions that he will never give. It's an absolute farce. And this ain't the first time Michael Oliver has ruined games for Arsenal fans. When you can see there giving the second yellow card to Gabriel Martinelli, the red card to Leandro Trossard. This red card here, João Gomez getting a second yellow card for a worse stamp than what Myles Lewis Skelly did. Myles Lewis Skelly doesn't even stamp on him. He just trips him up. He just trips him up to stop a counter attack. The most blatant yellow card you'll ever see. You know, it's just scandalous at this rate. It's utterly scandalous. And like, even then, you look at this is all on Twitter. You type in his name and all of this has come up. If I speak, Michael Oliver has refereed Man City 50 times and has shown 0 red cards. I've done a bit of research on this. It's actually true. Yeah, he's refereed Arsenal 55 times and he's shown Arsenal 8 red cards. And later on in the video, we're going to analyse whether all of those 8 red cards are actual red cards. Bear in mind, this guy started refereeing Arsenal games consistently since 2020. 2020. What's even more frustrating, Pgmol working with Sky Sports and the likes of Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville have had nothing to say. Yet these are the same two pundits that laughed in Arsenal's face when they lost 1-0 to Newcastle this time last season, right? The foul on Gabriel not given, the ball went out of line. And this guy went out of his way to go onto a football pitch, put a football there and be like, yeah, this is why it's not a thing, haha, Arsenal fans, but I want you to win the league. When you read this tweet by Welbeast, it's actually true. These two have not gone on to criticise the referees one bit ever, and they've been working with Pgmol since last year. The whole point of Pgmol working with Sky Sports is to improve consistency of refereeing calls in the Premier League, to give an understanding for fans as to why they make these decisions, to be clear, to own up to their mistakes. Yet since this has happened, no mistakes have been admitted to. Everyone's been kept stum, and Pgmol have had power over Sky, who were showing 300 plus Premier League games. It's become a PR scene with these lot, and I've become fed up of it. And I've always tried to paint Arsenal fans in bad light. Always. And I'm getting sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of it. In fact, there's a literal proof that Michael Oliver has handed out red cards to Arsenal more than any other team in the Premier League. Everton with 5. It's actually scandalous. More yellow cards to Arsenal. What's crazy is that Michael Oliver has handed out more yellow cards to Arsenal than any other team. More reds to Arsenal than any other team in the Premier League. It's crazy at how, when you look at the red cards Arsenal have got when he's refereed, to the likes of Manchester City, who have had 0. Chelsea have only had 2. Man United have had 3, and Liverpool have only had 1. But somehow Everton have 5. It is not good enough. It is not good enough. And like, look, fans are entitled to have their opinion over a game of football. And this sort of thing that Sky Sports are doing, that Pgmol are doing, take away the free speech that football is all about. Free speech is becoming so limited that you can't criticize a referee and say it as it is anymore. Do I agree that Michael Oliver deserves threats and abuse directed at him? Of course not. But the guy has no social media account. Meanwhile, footballers, including the likes of Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, various footballers in the Timo Werner, Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, a perfect example of a guy that's trending all over Twitter, a guy that's been constantly handed out by the press, constantly spoken about in a bad light as if he's done something wrong, although he's not in the mood to play for United anymore. Yet no one's gone out of their way to issue a statement. No Man United committee has come out to defend Rashford the way Pgmol have defended Michael Oliver. It's absurd. People have been, you could cuss a footballer but not a referee nowadays. Is that where people draw the line? And when you look at a player like Marcus Rashford, he misses an opportunity after the game. He has a social media account and he reads the worst DMs you could imagine possible. Michael Oliver doesn't even have a a, a profile on socials. Yet where is this abuse coming from? What? Because people are saying Michael Oliver done wrong. PGMOL are abysmal. It is absolutely sickening that the refereeing has got worse and worse and worse with each year. How can Sky be more concerned about Michael Oliver, yet they like to throw under the bus of several football players for not showing the right attitude? Constantly punditing about players like Marcus Rashford and Ozil several years ago. It's a disgrace, man. It's a disgrace. If you're one to talk about footballers, you're one to talk about referees as well. It's a joke. And credit to Ian Wright, he's called out it. You know, a guy that's worked on BBC, a guy that's working for the Premier League in the USA. It's a farce, man. It is an absolute farce, and people are shocked by it all. Like, no defense of Lewis Skelly, who's just been sent off. Imagine the mental health this guy's going through because he feels like he's cost Arsenal a title race. That his teammates have to fight for the next 45 minutes without him, and it could have jeopardized the whole game. It's a joke. It's a joke, and even this clip here, you look at him, the way he looks at Mikel Arteta, forcing that response. And credit to Mikel Arteta, by the way. After the game, he was calm about things, saying that we all know about this decision. We're used to it. Imagine that a manager who can't even speak up his mind because, well, actually, let me show you. To Michael Oliver, the same referee that failed to send off Kovacic against Arsenal to not ruin the game, yet sent off Leandro Trossard in the same. This guy, back to Michael Oliver. This guy has refereed Arsenal 54 times according to World Football Net. And he's given Arsenal, according to this source right here, a total of, oh man, Michael Oliver has given 8 red cards to Arsenal as proved, right? But his first game. Now, back to Michael Oliver. This guy has been refereeing Arsenal games since 2010. Since 2010. And throughout his spell, his first ever red card against Arsenal was in fact in 2016 as Arsenal lost 2-1 in a North London derby defeat to Tottenham Hotspur. He's then given us 7 red cards since then for a whole spell of years, 8 years after. So what? 1 red card a year? Is that what Michael Oliver wants to do? The year's barely started and he's already sent off an Arsenal player. God give me grief. But what we're going to do now is analyse every red card he has given us. And I'm going to be trying to be as wholly transparent whether that red card was fair or it wasn't. Let's go. Now, Michael Oliver right here has been officiating Arsenal games since 2010 according to World Football Net. So he's been officiating Arsenal games for the past 14 years. Funny thing is, his first ever red card against Arsenal came in 2016. And he's given 7 other red cards since. 1 red card a year. Alright? By this man. It's absolutely crazy at how this guy's given more red cards to Arsenal than any other team. But we're going to go through every red card he's given Arsenal and try and be as objective as possible. In the first red card he ever gave Arsenal was in a 2-2 draw against Tottenham Hotspur. Francis Coquelin ended up becoming a victim of it. Let's see whether the red card was fair or not. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I can understand the red card for that. I can't lie. Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. That's a red card. Yeah. That was a dumb tackle. That was a dumb tackle. Dumb tackle. Michael Oliver's second ever red card given to an Arsenal player came in a season after. We had beaten Everton by 3-1, yet Lauren Koscielny got given a straight red card in the 14th minute. We scored 2 goals after that. But let's see, was that a straight red card or not? Ooh! Ooh! Oh, fucking hell. Yikes! Yeah. Right call. Right decision. Right decision. Studs up. Yeah. Michael Oliver didn't even hesitate. Straight red card. VAR wasn't even in this game, and it wasn't needed. That was a brutal tackle. A brutal tackle by Laurent Koscielny. Wow. Oh, what made him do that? Yo, he misses the ball completely. Jeez. Guy goes flying. And you know what's the crazy thing? This red card had got him banned for the FA Cup final against Chelsea. In 2019, Michael Oliver sent off Ainsley Maitland-Niles for a second yellow card offence as we got humiliated by Leicester City 3-0. Was this a second yellow card? He got a yellow card for a shoulder challenge. That make what? Nah, that's not a yellow card at all. Yeah, that's the second yellow card. Yeah. I can understand why that's a second yellow. Now, Maitland Niles didn't deserve to get sent off for those two fouls alone, as they were the only fouls he committed the game. The second yellow card was a yellow card offence, and Maitland Niles should never have made that tackle. He stops an opportunity of a counter attack by Leicester. Yet the first yellow card was very harsh. I think if this was a yellow card given alone, it's a lot fairer. Let me know what you think. Michael Oliver, got it right once again. This is one of the most blatant red cards you'll ever see. Granit Xhaka hacking down Diogo Jota. He's almost through on goal in a sense. High boot, high starts, last man. Fair enough. What was he thinking? Jota's like through on goal, ready to attack the penalty box. Ramsdale's coming off his line. Xhaka doesn't even see where Jota is. He tries to go in for the ball, and he just bicycle kicks him in the chest. Yeah, that's a red card all day long. Even Xhaka admitted it in a documentary. I was last man. I had to do what I had to do. Like, he agrees with it. So that's a blatant red card, of course. But then here is where things get absolutely bonkers. Because a month later, in the 1-0 win against Wolves, Gabriel Martinelli gets sent off. That's a fair enough. That's a yellow card. To be fair, credit to Oliver. He lets play continue. And as an isolated incident, fair enough. My problem is, the whole point of a yellow card is it's a warning. It's a warning. Martinelli, if he had known he was on a yellow card then, he wouldn't have made the second challenge. Knowing that he's not on a yellow card, he then makes this foul to stop a counter-attack, conceding a free kick. And he doesn't go for the ball, he gets the man, and you can look at that and be like, you know what, fair enough, that's a yellow card. The biggest issue is the fact that there was no warning for it. There was no warning for it. It was never seen before. Two straight yellow cards given and a red card given. It would have been a bit more understandable if it was a straight red card. But this is where everybody got onto Michael Oliver. The Coquelin red card was fair. Xhaka one was fair. The Koscielny one was fair. The second yellow card for Maitland Niles was harsh. But on a yellow card, you can't make those kind of fouls. If we've seen that again after that multiple times, and it happened to a team like Wolves, or it happened to a team like City or Liverpool and stuff like that, then I don't think Arsenal fans would be too angry. But yeah, very harsh. I disagree with it completely. But the yellow cards on isolated incidents were fair. And then last season in 2023, Michael Oliver gives Fabio Vieira a red card for a studs up tackle on Josh Brownhill. Look, that's a clear red card all day. You don't put your leg in like that in the knee. Yeah, it was serious foul play. It was unfortunate, but it was a definite red card. Yeah, the next red card he gives to us, the Man City game. The one against us after that, the Wolverhampton game this season. And I don't need to react to those again. I know that the Trossard one wasn't a red card. It was petulant for him to give it as Silva's on the floor. Trossard's trying to find Martinelli, and the red card for time wasting for kicking the ball away isn't a fact at all. And then the Wolves red card is a straight up yellow card that should have been overturned by now. It's bizarre. Well, when you look at the stats here, Michael Oliver has given Arsenal a total of 8 red cards. And for 5 of them, I could say, fair enough. They were red cards. But the 2 most recent ones are scandalous. The Martinelli against Wolves, I could understand on isolated instances, as I've already said. But like I've seen it, like people say, oh, he's giving us more red cards than any other team. But some of the red cards were actually fair enough. You don't go into those kind of tackles. But yeah, still a lot of problems going on with Pgmol. The Lewis Skelly red card should be overturned. Hopefully, after finishing the recording, I'll upload a short for that if there's any news. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Pgmol disaster. How can they back down on the red card? Post it on Sky Sports News, but then cry that they're getting the stick they're getting when this guy hasn't even got a social media account. It makes no sense to me. They threw David Coote under the bus for the videos that have gone on the internet over the recent months, and it's a big saga going on. We are not meant to know who the referees are, yet we are. They're the center of attention every week. There's shows dedicated to them. Sky Sports are constantly defending them when they shouldn't be, and I thought I'd make a video looking at this. And yeah, Arsenal fans are overreacted about the red cards that he has given. But there are 3 red cards that are definitely no-nos. But that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Quite a long video I've had to make just to make a point. Should he officiate Arsenal games again? I think he has to apologise before he does that. I think he has to admit he got it in the wrong before, officiating an Arsenal game again. He has to show some kind of consistency to other teams, But yeah, he's still a good referee in my opinion. But there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. In a bit, people. In a bit. I'm out.